Hey, fitness instructors, 3 tips on how to get clients without posting. Okay. If you want to make an extra $1,000, then you need to get clients. Whether you need to get clients to go to your classes or you need to get clients to enroll into your online programs, to make money, we need clients. So stick around today. We're going to be talking about 3 tips to get clients, and say yes if that's something that you want to know more about. Okay, so to get clients to your classes or to your programs, the truth is that posting is the slowest way to get clients. It's the funnest way because you just post, it's kind of detached. You don't have to get up and personal with somebody, but it's actually the slowest way. It's a great way to create awareness. So if you've been posting about your classes, class pictures, schedules, reels of you dancing or little snippets of class, all of those are great things to create awareness, but they're not great to create clients. Now your clients need awareness in order to become clients, but it's not going to be enough. The sales, the enrollments actually happen in messages, meaning conversations. So let me know if this is mind-blowing. For me, it was. By the way, I'm coming to you from Texas. Let me know where are you watching this from, because I love meeting people from all over the world. Okay, so the fastest way to get clients is going to be to message. Now, a lot of instructors get nervous about messaging. Say me, if this makes you a little bit nervous. I'm an introvert, so for me, when I learned about the fastest way to make money was not posting, was messaging and getting close to people, I was a little hesitant. But it doesn't have to be that way. So the reason that I was nervous was because I didn't know what to talk about. I didn't know what to say. Either I wasn't talking about my stuff, or I was saying all the wrong things and sounding all spammy and pushy. Who wants to send messages that are spammy, pushy, and bothering people? No one. Okay. So when you're messaging people, we're not going to be spammy. We're not going to be bothering people. We're not going to be convincing people. So here are 3 tips on how to get clients without posting, because we're going to be messaging, but I also want you to message in a non-spammy, non-pushy, non-salesy, non-bothering way. Yes? You ready? So tip number 1, build a list. And I sort of talked about this last week in the post. You need to have a list of people of who to talk to. Otherwise, you're just sitting there kind of hoping somebody reaches out to you, or you're waiting for them to reach out to you, in which case you're going to be hoping and waiting a long time to get clients. That is not a healthy business practice. Whether you want to grow your classes or enroll people to your programs, it's just not going to happen. So if you're the instructor, if you're the fitness boss, if you're the online business leader, you're the one who's going to have to take that first step. It's very much like walking into a party, right? And not saying hi to anyone and just like, and then you're like, why aren't people friendly? Well, because you're not being friendly, right? So it takes you have to go up and say, hello. And like you have to create that interaction. Now, online is a little hard to do because everything is like Facebook and Instagram, everything. Everyone's kind of all over the place. This is why instructors take a long time to get clients online, because there's no organization. There's no system. So the first thing that you're going to need is a list. So you need to know who to talk to so that it's not random, so that you're not waiting or hoping. You know exactly who to talk to. Who goes in the list? So in your list goes any past student. That's anyone who took your class even once, okay? Or anyone who mentioned they were interested in your program, even if they only said it once, okay? If you're teaching classes, anyone who took your class, because that means that they know, like, and trust you, and they bought from you already. They just kind of, fell off the grid for some reason. So anyone who's taken a class, so past students, even if they only took one class, they go on the list. You also want to include current students in your list. Now, current students, if they're taking class, well, they're already taking class, right? So we're not going to tell them to buy more, although you could upgrade them to an online program if you have an online program. But having your current students in your list, what it does is that it builds retention. So that way they keep coming back to class. You're building your retention and then you're adding new people. Same thing with your online programs. You want to add your current clients to your list. We're going to talk about what to do with the list in a second, but you want to add them so that you build retention and you're always building those relationships so that they stay clients long term. So it's a retention tool. If you want to grow your business, you need a combination of retaining your current clients and getting new clients. If you're only retaining your clients and you're not getting new clients, your business will slowly die. If you're only getting new clients, but they're not retaining, they go away, your business will slowly die. So we need both of them. Yes. So on your list, you want your current clients to build retention. You want your past clients because they already bought from you. So they're going to be the easiest ones to tell them about your class, to get them back to class, to upgrade them to your programs. And anyone who asks information about your stuff. If somebody mentioned in a post or that they wanted information or in a message or in an email or in a conversation, right? We don't want to give them the responsibility of reaching out to us. Like they already said they're interested. They already raised their hand or their virtual hand saying that at the least they were curious. That's enough to get them on your list so that now you can reach out to them and have that conversation, which we'll talk in a second. Yes. So tip number one, you need to build your list. On your list, you goes current students, past students, and anyone asking information about your stuff. Another very important thing about the list is that your list has to be on a spreadsheet. It has to be. It doesn't work any other way. If you're like, oh, but I have an email list, it doesn't work. Oh, but I have a chat, it doesn't work. But I have a Facebook group, that doesn't count. They're on my phone, that doesn't count either. Okay? This only works if they're on a spreadsheet. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in step number 3. Okay. So tip number 1, build your list. Fill it up with the right people and make sure that your list is on a spreadsheet. Tip number 2, you want to start conversations. Okay. Starting the conversations should be something that is simple, short, and easy. One of the biggest mistakes I see instructors who are wanting to grow their classes and they kind of understand that they have to reach out one-on-one to people, or fitness instructors who are wanting to launch their online programs, right? They want to level up from just teaching classes and just being a fitness instructor into becoming a fitness boss, right? And they start to reach out to people is that first message is all wrong, right? So it's not going to be a flyer when you're sending out as you're going through the list and you're okay, have person number 1 and you're going to reach out to that person. That very first message that you send is crucial. Okay. That very first message is not going to be a flyer. It is not, it's not going to be a flyer. It's not going to be information about your class, your program, your workshop, your boot camp, your challenge, whatever it is. You're not sending them information. It's not going to be a link, right? Not to your website, not to a registration, not to Zumba.com. It's not going to be a link. It's not going to be a video or a reel. It's not going to be anything like that. Okay. The first conversation should be something short, sweet, simple, and normal. Okay. Something very normal. Something like, hey, it's been a minute. How are you? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's September. What have you been up to? Right? Something simple. So you may even have gotten that type of message from me because that's what I do as well. So the goal of the first message is not to get them to enroll. No. Okay. First of all, we're going to have to shift that mindset in a second. But that's not the goal. The goal of the first couple of messages is genuinely to catch up with your people. That's it. That's why you include your current students or your current clients in that list so that you can catch up with them, right? What are they up to? Do they went on vacation? How was it? How is their shoulder or their knee, right? If they mentioned that they were injured, how are their kids? How is Christmas? What are they going to do for Halloween? Like literally just be friendly and a normal human and let the conversation flow to wherever it's going to flow for a couple of conversations. Okay. So this is a little bit of a chit chat. What we're doing here is we're building relationships. Okay. People will not become clients if the only time you reach out to them is to get something from them. Okay. This is why I'm big when I'm coaching my clients and we're figuring out what their target audience is. I want you to fall in love with who you help. Okay? But if you're going to focus on helping moms or women in menopause, or in my case, I want to help group fitness instructors, right? Fall in love with them because you're going to have conversations with them all day long. And this should be fun. I love having conversations with fitness instructors. I love knowing whether you're in your first year of teaching or you've been teaching for 25 years. I love knowing whether you teach one format or several. Like, I love connecting with other instructors. I'm obsessed with it. And if I can help you in some way, form, or shape, I want to, right? I create a whole business around that because I'm in love with who I help, so that I can have conversations that maybe they lead to them registering to something that I do, or maybe it just leads to an interesting conversation. Every conversation to me is interesting, okay? So when you send that first message, the goal is not to get them to enroll to your class or to your program. The goal is to build that relationship, to catch up with them, to get to know them, okay? To have an interesting, friendly conversation. Be a friend first, and then be their fitness instructor or their coach or their mentor or, or their program, right? But be a friendly, helpful person first. Say yes if this is resonating. Okay. So number 1, build a list. Number 2, start the conversations, nice, short, and simple. And number 3, ask questions. Ask them questions. So a lot of instructors, when I ask instructors, what made you go into like group fitness or fitness? The number 1 response that I get from people is that they want to help people, right? Why did you join? Why did you become a fitness instructor? And they say, because I want to help people. Say help people if that is you as well, okay? In our conversations, we want to extend that to our conversation. The goal of the conversation after we catched up, the second goal is to help people. The goal is not to enroll, okay? The goal is to help. Now, depending on the type of help that they need, then we're going to provide different solutions. Maybe they just have a question, right? They have a question about fitness or cardio or strength or growing classes or posting or marketing or making money. They have a question and you can help them by solving that question, answering that question. Now you're helpful, right? We're here to help people. So maybe they just have a question and you're able to help them with that. And that's as far as the conversation goes. That is great. That is okay. Okay. Maybe they need a little bit more help. They're trying to get fit or stay fit or get healthy, right? They have some health issues involved. And even if you answer their conversations where they're going to need to take some action to get to those goals, in which case you have something to solve that, right? If they want to get fit or start getting active or stay active, you can tell them about your classes. That fixes that problem, right? Now, if they have bigger problems, let's say that they want to work on their balance, they want to avoid falls, they want to lose 12 pounds, they want a 6-pack, they want to get toned, right? They want a beach body before the summer. Okay, well, classes might not cut it, right? I mean, it's good if they're taking classes, but they're going to need something more advanced. They're going to need something more comprehensive, in which case your online program is something that's going to help them. Now, if you don't have that, then that type of problem is not something that you can help them solve. So you would have to redirect them to an online coach, right? Or a personal trainer or somebody else who could help them with that type of problem. So as you're doing, however, you don't know what type of help they need, right? When you're reaching out and they're telling you about, Halloween and what they're going to do for Halloween, super cool. You don't know if health-wise, they just have a couple of questions they need answered, or if they need something to like keep them or stay active, or if they have bigger health goals that will require more comprehensive, approach. You don't know this. You've been talking about Halloween. So how do you know this? You ask them. That's simple. You just ask them. So you ask them about their goal. Do they have goals? Do they care about their health? Do they have any health goals? What those health goals are? Why are those things important to them? What have they tried to try to figure it out? Did it work? Did it not work? Like why? So it's not about being spammy. It's about being curious. Okay. So if you're the instructor that's going to help them overcome that difficulty, well, you need to know, where are they going? Right? What's the goal here? Right? Do they want to like finish a 5K, do their first marathon, or just stick to 3 classes a week because they're a new mom, right? And they need some activity, but what is the goal here? You need to know what that is for them what have their struggles, and now you can provide a solution, right? Now you can help them. Now you can help them solve their questions or give them some ideas or tell them about your thing. Now you can't tell them about your thing until you know what their situation is. Because if you don't know what their situation is, then you're assuming that your thing, your class, or your program is just going to solve all of their problems without you knowing what their problems are. You see how that's why it becomes spammy, because you never ask them, right? So in step 3, when you're asking questions, that's what it's all about. So it's not about just telling them information or talking about your promos or talking about your schedule or your flyer. It's about really getting to know them. What did they want? What did they need? What are they having difficulty with? And then presenting your class or your program as the solution to that problem. But until you don't know what their problem is and what goal they're trying to reach, then you really don't know whether they need your class or not, or whether they're the right person for your program or not, right? And that's when the conversation becomes spammy, because you're trying to convince them to do something without you really knowing and then knowing how this all correlates. So it feels like you're convincing them to do something, right? So then there's resistance. They don't want to. But once you understand what their problems are, what their goals are, and what difficulties they have, and you're like, oh, I have something to solve that. I have to teach Zumba twice a week here, or I have this virtual thing, or I have an online program that we specifically do that, right? It becomes easy for them to say yes. Okay. Now, at the end of this conversation, if you have like a $25 punch card or a membership, then basically you need 40 clients. You need to get 40 clients to make an extra $1,000. If you have an online program, and I highly suggest that you do, and I highly suggest that you price your online program at a minimum of $200, then you just need 5 clients, right? So you go through this conversation, very easy to do. I have clients, the instructors that I mentor, some of them get their first couple of clients, $200 clients, in as quickly as 3 to 5 days. Very, very quickly following the same system. Yes or yes? Okay. So if you have any questions, let me know. By the way, I just created a 1-post promo bundle. It's kind of like a mini training to enroll 3 clients to your class or to your program without having to post. We're basically just doing 1 post, and I'm going to provide all of these non-spammy messaging scripts. So if you want more information, say info down in the comments. This is everything that you get. You're going to get your 1 post template. So this is the template the post that you actually need to do. It's super simple. You're just going to be amazed at how simple it is. Okay. So it's a very fill in the blank so that you can attract the right people fast. I'm going to give you a step-by-step walkthrough of how that works, why that works, what to do before the post, during the post, and after the post. I'm going to also give you 7 different variations of that same post if you want to do this to grow your classes. So if your goal is to get clients to grow your classes, I'm going to give you 7 different variations. If your goal is to get clients to enroll to a program that you already have, I'm going to give you 7 different variations. So basically you're getting like 15 versions of this post to make sure that it matches your audience, your class, your program, and your audience. You're also going to get the messaging cheat sheet. So these are the actual non-spammy, bothering scripts that I just talked about, literally word for word. And now once you have these scripts, I can give you feedback so it sounds less like me and a little bit more like you, but now you'll know what to say. And you'll also get the hot list spreadsheet so that, I don't know, when I started, spreadsheets was not my favorite thing to do, and creating my list was really, really challenging. You'll get that all done for you so that you understand how a business actually works. And you stop waiting, you stop hoping, and you start actually talking to the right people and saying the right things. Now, normally a package like this would be around the $300 range. I actually used to create like a whole 6-week program, and it was around $300. Today, I'm just going to do it for $97. And the reason I'm doing it for just $97 is because I want you to truly understand how when you post and you message, how posting and messages work together to get clients. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You can fill your classes faster. You can enroll clients to your online program. You can build income that isn't, without having to teach more classes. You're just getting more clients. Lots of instructors think that you need a huge following or that you need special tech. You don't need any tech. You need Facebook and messages. You're doing that, okay? and you don't need to be posting daily. All you need is one post and a strong script. So that's what this one post promo bundle is all about. Say info. This is something that you want to do. If you want more information on this, and if you have any more questions about this or messaging, let me know, and I'll see you on the next one.